About 90 minutes ago, President Trump posted on Truth Social saying, quote, "The National Guard is now in place in Oregon." That being said, we can tell you that members of the Guard are not yet in place around the ICE facility located near Portland's South Waterfront. Getting back to his post on Truth Social, President Trump said he activated the Guard this past Saturday and claimed that conditions have since, quote, "deteriorated into lawless mayhem." The president followed that by saying Oregon Governor Tina Kotek is, quote, "living in a dream world," and called Portland a, quote, "never-ending disaster" that he compared to a third world country. The Oregon Attorney General's office is suing to block the Guard's deployment. A hearing on the lawsuit is set for Friday at 10 a.m. The Oregon Military Department estimates that it will cost $3.8 million in federal tax dollars to pay the 200 service members over the course of 80 days. Local lawmakers and a Senate Safety Subcommittee reiterated that whatever their opinions are on this deployment, they realize the Guard is made up of Oregonians.
I hope you've heard from this side of the dais our support for the Oregonians who are following orders. These are our brothers and sisters, our family members, our coworkers, people who work with us in this building. And we recognize the situation that the president is putting them in.
KGW, by the way, also obtained a letter sent to Oregon Guard members from the general in charge of the Oregon National Guard. Now, he won't be in command during their deployment here in Portland, but here's a look at the letter. Brigadier General Alan Gronwald wrote about the task ahead, saying, quote, "I'll be honest with you. I know this isn't easy. Some people in Oregon won't understand or won't support this mission. Some might even be hostile about it. But we've been through tough situations before. We are professionals," he said, "who do our duties regardless of how it's received." He went on to write that Guard members not involved in this mission will continue to do their normal duties in the state, like responding to wildfires or storms. He also told service members it's okay for them to have strong feelings about the mission, but that they took an oath to follow the orders of the president and the governor, adding that they don't get to pick and choose their missions. You can read the full letter at KGW.com. Other city leaders around the country are condemning the growing military presence in their communities. They say the move to deploy troops is made to create fear and intimidation. The Trump administration continues to say it's about public safety. Thomas Schultz brings us more from the Portland South Waterfront.
Well, right now, right outside the Portland ICE facility along the South Waterfront, it's been pretty quiet. It's been that way all morning long. There's a little less than 10 protesters that look like they're just kind of setting up for the day right now. This all comes as Oregon state leaders are suing the Trump administration to block troop deployments here in Portland. Meanwhile, city leaders from Washington, D.C. to L.A. are pushing back too, saying the only nightmare in their cities recently was the deployment of the National Guard and federal officers.
The federal surge forces have been at soccer games, football games, in front of schools. Children have seen people kidnapped from in front of schools.
If you send military troops against the people of the United States, you are abusing your power, you are disrespecting and misusing the military and our service members, and you are wasting our tax dollars.
Community leaders in Tennessee say they're also seeing troops in Memphis. The Trump administration says the deployments are safety operations and opportunities for military training. President Trump recently defended the actions of his defense secretary, Pete Hegseth.
It's a war from within. I told Pete we should use some of these dangerous cities as training grounds for our military.
Now in Portland, we've seen peaceful protests for quite some time. Along the waterfront, there was hundreds of protesters joining Governor Tina Kotek over the weekend, along with Portland Mayor Keith Wilson. Here at the ICE facility along the South Waterfront, protests have been going on since June. Many of those protests where they were larger and actually had more arrests were in June. We've seen a handful of arrests over the past week, but once again, peaceful down here today. Along the South Waterfront, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
So this is a live picture from right outside the ICE facility near the South Waterfront, and we can tell you again this afternoon that there are no National Guard members in place. Of course, we will continue to keep an eye on this situation as we move through the afternoon.